Oh, hi. It's me, Goblin Welder. We are getting back into doing the recording for our Nuzlocke. Not a lot has been happening since the last batch of recordings in this one. I've been working on some miniatures. Currently, that's why the lighting might be a little bit more off than usual. I use my hobby light as a primary light source. And Sir got me this cool ring light, but the problem is, there's just not enough desk. I have this microphone arm, I have the arm that my hobby light that's floating around up here in space is sitting on, and currently on that hobby light are 29 Night Lord Space Marines magnetized to it. It's kind of funny and a bit precarious. I'm a tad concerned because if they're gonna fall down. But that's mostly what I've been working on. If I can figure out a way to do it that looks nice, I'll put a picture of the test marine that I did. Let's show y'all how that kind of looks. But in the meantime, let's talk about our team here. So we did some grinding off camera. It was very uneventful. I eventually figured out that the best place to grind in this situation is to actually go down into Viridian Forest, because the Kunas, when you encounter them, give you anywhere between 40 and 60 experience per kill depending on their level. Metapods are always 41 experience based on the ones that I encountered. Weedles that are at least level 4 or 5, I believe it was, give me 32 XP, and the random Pikachu spawns gave me 35. When we compare this to the Pokemon that are in the grass just above Viridian City before you get into Pewter City proper, that's a difference of anywhere between 10 and 20 experience per encounter, and that saved a lot of time. So, adjusting. I've been playing Chrono Cross off stream as well, so my button memorization is a bit off. We have Killicroc, our Butterfree. And I didn't know Butterfree learned Confusion at level 12. This is going to be exciting. We're going to see what happens in the gym. I'm hoping this will lead to Butterfree being able to do the majority of the heavy lifting here, so we're going to be relying on Killicroc doing that heavy lifting. Firefly, still chilling, level 14, nothing new there otherwise. We have Miss Beekman, who I am sure Sir is just... They are praying for Miss Beekman. They are an atheist, and they are praying for Miss Beekman to survive, because they know how things have been going between me and Pidgeys. Mr. Arnold Wesker, the Ventriloquist, level 12. And then we have Bane, the Nidoran, chilling at level 12 as well. So we're going to go into the gym. Depending on how things go against this junior trainer here, we might go back and heal just to cap off our abilities. But we'll see how things look afterwards. We're going to lead in with Killicroc, because I have faith. I have faith that Killicroc's going to do big things. Psychic Pokemon are just so busted in Gen 1. Butterfree's not even a Psychic Pokemon, it just can learn Psychic moves, which by its nature makes it pretty good, all things considered. Yeah, we're probably going to be healing after this, but... Rip. Sand attack! When I hit you, you're fucked, bro. Alright, I feel like if we get hit here, we're gonna need to... We're gonna stick in for now. There we go. Alright, that's all we needed. Definitely gonna go heal, though. I'm not sure what our end goal here is for the evening. Much like last time, I'm going to try to record these in batches of 5. That way they're a little bit staggered, so I can kind of have a buffer of sorts. But it's actually a lot easier just to record these in the batches. Sit here, ramble about my day, ramble about what's going on, which admittedly is a lot of nothing, really. And then just do little short half-hour things. Thus far, I'm assuming that that's fine with everybody. I haven't heard otherwise. Alright. First test. How we gonna do, guys? I'm not overly worried about the Geodude. It's the Onix that I'm a bit leery about. This should be pretty good. It's a solid almost half their health, so we should be alright. Fine. I'm gonna keep spamming confusion. Very nice, very nice. Alright, this is where things are a little questionable to me. Alright, that's a good sign. Got a miss. Good damage. Oh, and he's... Yes! I don't think I could have asked for that to go any better, honestly. He missed all of his moves. It's 3 hits. Does Brock have shoes on? I just, like, looked at his sprite, and I don't think he's wearing shoes. Give me Bide. Probably never gonna use it. That was easy. Come on. Watch Misty push our shit in later. Alright, let's check our supplies. They are rather low. As I've said in previous episodes, we don't want to spend a lot of time walking back and forth between the Pokemon Center and our trainer battles if we can avoid it. Away we go. Oh, these poor Pokemon. Ah, thought it'd be enough. We can't rely too much on Killer Croc. That's the easy way, honestly, when you know confusion at this state in the game. But we gotta get the rest of our team leveled up, too. So much utility on Butterfree. Alright. So we're gonna work on, I think, Bane here. Work on getting our Nidorino. Nothing down here, okay. Now in the alpha attempt of me doing a Nuzlocke for Gen 1, I made, I think, a rookie mistake. I caught a Pokemon on this route when I should have just bought the Magikarp from the guy in the Pokemon Center just before the cave. And where that's a bigger pain to level, because it starts at level 5. You got to grind 10 levels to get it to tackle so it can maybe do its own work. But then it's so worth afterwards, because Gyarados is just in general good in every Nuzlocke you can get him. I might have one of my friends to join me in on my, hey, let's buy a starter box of an army and let's like do an escalation league is what it's called, where you start with the getting started box and then you just add on from there over time. And you don't get to, we're gonna do it in a way that you can't advance to the next state of the game until all of your stuff is painted. So nobody can advance until everybody has gotten all their stuff painted. Because that is the issue, I think, with the hobby in general, other than, you know, the cost. And if you don't like putting things together, you're probably not gonna enjoy it. Is people will buy everything they need to play the game, so then they're staring at hundreds of unpainted models, and it's just very daunting. But ideally, we need another ooh. Don't die, don't die, don't die, don't die, don't die, don't die. All right. What was I saying? That was scary. Ideally, we want 2 more people to do this, because at the lowest point levels of the game, you could play on a 4x4 table. And I have that out in my garage. I have the ability to hold 2 4x4 games. So then we can all play each other and not have to always be playing the exact same person every time. Like, you're still playing the same 3 people, but that breaks it up a little bit. Maybe there's a change in tactics, a change in the actual game type. I go ahead and just use the 2. But the friend I've enlisted is a friend I've mentioned previously named Tony, who is not exactly the most reliable at showing up to things on time, so we'll see if that actually goes anywhere. I'm not doing any like preparation or like deep planning until he is like, yep, we're doing it. We're gonna do it on these days, or these are the days that I have free. Let's work this out, because I'm excited about that, honestly. I miss being able to do that with my friends. And this is even pre-COVID that it kind of just stopped. That's disappointing. I always felt like I got some of my most productive work done when there were other people doing the same thing with me. The only thing that I have actually thought about as far as it's concerned is I put the 2 games forward because at this point, Games Workshop's games are where they're not the most financially accessible. The rules themselves are very accessible now. They are very simple in how they handle the various phases of the game and shooting, close combat, movement, etc. So I think that'd be good for him because he's not dumb by any stretch. But like many people, if a game is a certain degree of complexity, he isn't overly interested in it. He's very much like, if I can't play it while drinking a beer, I don't want to play it. There's nothing wrong with that at all. But the selections I've made for both of the games, which are Age of Sigmar, which is the fantasy game, and Warhammer 40,000, which is the sci-fi game, is for Warhammer 40k if he wants to go that route. I'm probably going to go orcs because I already have the box, so I don't even have to make an investment. I specifically have that box set aside at this point if somebody ever wanted to do something like this. And I'm not sure what my secondary for Warhammer 40k would be, because I don't want us to play the same army, because that's not fun. So I do need to think more on that. However, for Age of Sigmar, I'm looking at the Gloomspite Gits, which are these angry little goblins that worship a cartoony moon that looks like it's out of... What is the anime? What is the anime? You can remember, you're a fucking weeb. You know what it is. Feel so dumb. Why am I so dumb? I keep wanting to say Hunter x Hunter, but that's not what it is. Whatever, I'll just out myself here. It's the one with the kids who are all leveling up, for lack of a better term, their weapons to become the next death scythe for death. I'm sure I'll remember at some point during the recordings in a future episode, maybe even. But it looks like that moon, like, no lie. Or possibly the orcs in that one too. Just because the orcs in both settings are like very comical, and I really appreciate that now. Like, I always thought they were kind of cool, but for whatever reason I just didn't want to invest the time in them. Maybe it's because I didn't want to paint that many models, because they're both kind of horde armies. Or maybe it's just the idea that I was scared to paint skin tones in general, because I thought that those would be much harder than painting a Space Marine's armor, or in the case of Necrons, just basically a Terminator ripoff. I don't know. But now I'm really feeling orcs lately. Why didn't anybody tell me my cursor was on the screen? Y'all let me down. We're gonna stick on Bane until we can get him to 16 so he'll level up. Very nice. Now we'll split the XP over to Mr. Wesker. God, one Harden just obliterated me. It's just gonna harden again. I don't know why I did that. We're gonna get there. Okay, good. Bane is evolving. He's getting swole. Gains. Put Mr. Wesker in the front now. We're gonna avoid the grass this time, because I kind of want to buy that Magikarp and have that fill our slot in the team. And then just go about the misery that is swap training it. This might be shady. We know Jigglypuffs are made of paper, though. I learned that from my previous playthrough. I had a Jigglypuff. It had 71 HP when we got to Misty. And I was like, you know what? I wasn't doing no items in combat, so I was like, all right, we can swap in Jigglypuff. It should be able to take one hit, which buys me that turn to heal up something that can deal with it. And it just didn't. It just ate it. All right. We're getting our ass handed to us by a Jigglypuff now that I'm talking shit about one. That's how it works. That's fine, you can have Growl. Burn, bitch. Yeah, burn. Fire. Fire. That's not a horrible split of XP between 3 Pokemon, but I'm not a fan. Not a fan. Hello, yes, I would like to buy fishy. Yes, I would. See, this would have been a better Pokemon to call Killer Croc, but here we are. So we're gonna stop trying to have characters make sense. We're gonna name this one Scarecrow. Probably one of my favorite Batman villains. Let us look on our glorious level 5 Magikarp. Look at him. He requires 114 experience. I don't think that guy we passed down there is a trainer. We're gonna go back and double check just in case. Alright, let's proceed through the cave. Alright, let's check our Pokemon here. Gotta get the swap training going, so might as well do as much as we can on as we can. Because I'm not a fan of playing this off recording and just grinding. That was not terribly exciting. This is our first Pokemon, Zubat. Kinda expected. Bane would be the answer here. Yep. We're just gonna YOLO a Pokeball first, see what happens. Okay. Give it a tackle. Say, you son of a bitch. Alright, we're gonna Pokeball here because if we happen to crit... Oh, actually, no, he might be out of crit range now, so we'll chance it. Yep, alright. Alright, sweet. I know exactly what we'll name him. Is obviously going to be the Man Bat. Fight me. Suspicious men are in the cave. Did you just assume my gender? I wish Splash did anything. We're gonna use it for the memes. Oh man, guys, I don't know who's gonna win this battle. This is a tough one. I suppose while this gripping battle's going, what else has been going on in my life? I helped my parents move into my grandmother's house. They are moving in with her to help her out, but it's also to help them out. My dad started chemo. It's March, 3 months ago, 4 months ago, technically, end of December. And I think it's just going to be good for everybody involved, all things considered. But we only moved 3 things. There's still a lot left in the house that they're currently renting. One of the things we moved was an 800-pound gun safe. And that thing beat the shit out of me. We had to get it onto a dolly, one of the ones that kind of like flips down into a trolley if you unlock it. Because when we initially tried to just use it as a regular dolly, the moment we tried to go up the ramp on the U-Haul, nope, it immediately wanted to go down. And I don't mean down the ramp, I mean whoever was trying to like pull it up or push it up, it was gonna fall back. So we had to sit there and rethink our strategy. So we opted, all right, let's get back down, get on a level surface. So we engaged the trolley mode, and we're like, all right, we gotta kind of tilt it on there without it just fucking smashing everything. And that was a whole ordeal. We get it on there, it takes all 4 of us. Me, my dad, who is not exactly at peak strength right now because of the chemo. His friend Tony, who is, I believe actually a bit older than he is. Tony's grandson and me, all four of us pushing this safe up the ramp. So we get it into the U-Haul. Well, then the problem becomes, all right, we can't really take it off this trolley because it was a pain getting it here. How are we going to secure this? This particular U-Haul didn't have anything set up to where we could strap it to anything, so it's just sitting on this trolley. So it's going to roll around if we get moving. So my dad gets the idea to use a ratchet strap on one of the handles. If you've ever seen a U-Haul, there are handles on the side, on the back, that you kind of use to pull yourself in. I knew that wasn't going to work, because how he strapped it was he just wrapped it around the front handle, basically, and I'm like, that ain't going to stop nothing. It's just going to rip the handle off, and it's going to head straight towards the front end of the U-Haul and probably be in the passenger seat. So I ride in the back with it. The back door is completely open because they strapped it to the handle, and I'm like, all right, I know I'm not gonna be able to keep this thing from, if it wants to go, it's gonna go. So I resolve, you know what, I'm just gonna try to keep it from twisting from whenever we take a turn, because there were gonna be several turns between my parents' house and my grandmother's house. And that thing beat me up. It didn't move much, but the amount of force that you have to apply to keep something like that from just jackknifing off of the trolley and then just becoming completely impossible to fucking get off without just shoving it off of the back end of the U-Haul and just letting it destroy the driveway or the pavement or whatever it's gonna hit, because it's gonna fuck up whatever it hits. I'm still sore. We did that on Saturday. It's Monday that I'm recording this. Got a big bruise on my arm and a bunch of scratches and shit on me. It's not great, but we may do. There's still more moving that needs to be done. I hope that they, by the time y'all have seen this, have given me a little bit more heads up so I can really help them get shit moved around and moved in. Their lease is up at the end of March, so there's still technically plenty of time, but as Lady will tell you, I don't fuck around when it's time to move. She and I have moved 1, 2, 3 times in our life. Every time I was making sure I was on top of it, and I had the vast majority of everything moved in as soon as we could have it moved in. I don't like doing last minute shit. And don't take that as I don't like doing last minute shit as in like don't fucking out of the blue ask me to like play a game or something, because depending on what's going on I'll probably still play. But big things like planning for trips, moving, anything that requires any kind of packing, I don't fuck around. I'm packed for a trip a week out, and I am constantly thinking, all right, is there anything else I need to put in the bag? Is there anything that we might need? And it's only backfired on me once, and I forgot my Retron when we went to go visit her father. So I wasn't terribly excited for that week that we were there. So my initial plan was I was just going to play Chrono Trigger and have a grand old time. But I was also moving a small television, a DVD VHS player, my fan, and some other stuff there just for whenever we or her sister goes up to visit. It's there for them to use and enjoy or whatever, you know. So I ended up forgetting the bag with the Retron and the bag that had Chrono Trigger, Final Fantasy, Voltorb spooky, What else was I bringing to that? Castlevania Bloodlines for the Genesis, because the Retron 5 can play fucking everything. I'm always leery about fucking self-destruct on fucking Voltorbs, man. I think that's all that's really happening. That I'm working on painting up these Night Lord Space Marines. Trying to convince my friend to play, trying to see if I can find 2 more people who want to try to do this with me. I'm debating selling my Necrons to my local game store. Which is kind of funny given that they are kind of the new hotness now, so they have all these new models, they got resculpts and all this stuff, but I don't know what it is. I just feel like I've kind of lost my attachment to the army itself. So I figure I could sell it, either get some cash to get some other stuff or get store credit to put into some other project that I might be excited about. That is one thing about Warhammer and miniature games in general for me. I try to make my hobby pay for my hobby. So if I get sick of something, or maybe I've fallen out of love with it, I'm not as attached to it for one reason or another, I could trade it in and use that fund to go back into the hobby to get something I want. So I don't think I've actually spent nearly as much on Warhammer and other similar games as most people would. Because where I'm not a fantastic painter, I think there was one instance where I traded in my army that I had made, and I actually got a little bit more initially, and they were sold apparently within a week and a half, like the entire army. So that at least tells me my painting isn't so bad that people don't want to buy it. Low-key, I'm hoping that when Corona ends and maybe I try to be more outgoing and maybe make new friends through this hobby stuff, I can maybe see specifically my Lamenter's army, which wasn't that great all things considered, but the Lamenters are a Space Marine army that's primary color is yellow, and painting yellow is miserable. It is awful. I'm hoping that one day maybe I'll see them. Maybe somebody improved like the checkerboard pattern, which is probably the weakest part on them, but all part of the hobby journey, I guess. Like anything else you do, painting miniatures, putting them together, it's a muscle you have to work out, is what a podcast I was listening to told me. And I know saying those words now, sir, it's like, oh, you can listen to miniature podcasts, but you can't listen to Magnus Archives? Ew. Look. That's because the Magnus Archives and Roll With Me have plot, and you have to pay attention. I can't do it. I can listen to 2 idiots like me sit there and shoot the shit about Warhammer and miniatures in general, though, so I don't have to actually pay attention. Oh wow, this episode's actually going long. Alright. Got caught up rambling about absolutely nothing and doing these trainer battles. That's fine. It can be a little long. We'll end it after this battle. Alright. Well, that does it for this episode, I suppose. We're about 10 minutes over time. Didn't even notice. So y'all have a wonderful day, night, evening, morning, whenever it is that you happen to be watching this. I love you all. Goodbye.